The Big Show on Kiss 92. Gotta get up.
Good morning, Singapore, and welcome to the biggest and best breakfast show in Singapore. We are The Big Show. It's Glenn and Angel, and our guest for today, as promised, is our sexologist, Dr. Martha Lee from Eros Coaching. Good morning.
You. Morning.
Good morning, Martha.
I'm so happy to come back.
We're so happy to have you here because we always talk about the most interesting stuff, and today is no different. Aged diverse relationships. So we're talking about older woman, younger man, younger woman, older man, whatever the permutation is. We're talking about an age gap. But how much of an age gap when you say age diverse?
As long as there's a gap.
Oh, what do you mean? Even like 1-2 years?
Yes, 1-2 years. Apparently, there are statistics that says that in Singapore, 9.4% of marriages has the bride who is 2 years or more older, and then actually 46.9, which is close to 50% of grooms actually 2 years older. So it's more common to have older men marrying younger women than older women marrying younger men.
So I'm part of the 9% because my husband is 3 years younger.
That's right.
Oh, good. I'm a statistic.
Why did you marry a younger man?
Because I fell in love with him.
Oh, so it's okay, yeah.
I think so.
Did it
Yeah.
bother
But-
you 3 years?
No, absolutely not. It's 3 years.
But I'm
it's
sure
not a
some
big gap.
people are going like, wow, look at that.
Nobody-
She should be marrying someone her own age.
Nobody blinked an eyelid.
That's what you think. All your friends who were at the wedding were probably thinking the same thing as well.
They
Like,
weren't. You know why? Because
Why?
I love all my friends
yeah,
and
but
I
you
know
don't-
them.
I don't know about that.
You just okay.
No, the only reason why I'm saying this is
Uh-huh.
because I know what is socially acceptable to most people, and people are very judgy.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think today, while we talk about this age gap thing, I think the main thing is social acceptance.
Yes.
It is none of anybody's business.
Yeah.
But people are very judgy.
Yeah.
But I
Do you
think
agree?
internally we also have our own number of what we feel is our cutoff age.
Okay, but does that even matter, Dr. Martha Lee?
I don't think it matters in a wider scheme as you get older. But I think when you're younger and you are coming into yourself, there can be a power dynamics kind of play that is happening
Right.
where the older person may unconsciously tell the younger one, oh, you don't know what's good for you. You don't know better. Let me tell you. I've been there.
Yes.
And sometimes that's very demeaning as well.
Yeah, no, true. So you said everyone should have a cutoff age.
I think we subconsciously have a psychological cutoff age.
What's your cutoff age, Glenn? I
30.
30 years younger?
Yeah?
And what about older? Would you date an older woman?
No.
Okay.
Why
fair
not?
enough.
What if she looks really, really good?
Well, I don't know. I've never dated an older woman.
Yeah, I mean, you could meet an older woman tomorrow and, she takes your heart
don't
away.
be a
Well,
hypocrite.
I could, but we're not talking about
No, we are talking about age gap.
that
Doesn't matter.
I answered the question.
Okay,
what?
no. So that's why I'm just asking if you
Yeah.
would date an older woman and you
Yeah,
just said
don't
no,
ask
flat
a
out.
situation where it's like
It hasn't
it's
happened.
hypothetical situation.
Okay.
No,
right?
it has
I
to
mean,
be. You have to be open. So it includes being open to people who
So
are
what's
older.
your question to me? I will answer.
30 years older.
30 years old. No. How about no?
Why? She looks
Straight
really
up.
good.
Straight up, he's like,
Like Helen Mirren? As good as no, thanks.
You would be lucky to have her.
No,
You
thank
would
you.
though, yeah.
Imagine what she would impart
She
to
would
you.
be lucky to have me.
Imagine the kind of information and knowledge she would impart on you. You're always all about wisdom, right? There
So
you go.
what? Well, as long as you're older, you are
Yeah.
you're
Wiser.
wise.
Lifelong
No.
learning.
I've come across some
Skills upgrade.
stupid old people as well. Okay, let's continue to talk to Dr. Martha Lee on the Big Show TV. Here's Burna Boy featuring Shabuzi. Change your mind on Kiss 92.
Okay, so it's never happened, but if you were to meet an older woman that you are attracted to, what would be your limit on an
Yeah.
age? That's what she's not saying 30 years. It doesn't have, the person doesn't have to be 85 years old. But you being 55, what would your immediate judgment pop into your head when she says, "Oh yeah, I'm
Right.
this age"?
I know I look like Keanu Reeves now, but I'm not Keanu Reeves, okay? Because he just got married to someone who's older than him.
Engaged.
Engaged
They've
or
been forever
married or
engaged,
whatever.
yeah,
lah, okay.
yeah.
These days, the moment you put your arm around somebody already, people start judging already. But anyway, I would say I would not. I'm 55 this
Yeah.
year. I would date someone who is 55. I will
Okay,
not.
you will not go older than that.
Non-negotiable.
Non-negotiable.
All right.
Okay, all those
Until he
people who are
meets, yeah.
older out there.
Don't approach Glenn.
I don't even think they want to approach me anyway.
You never
but,
know.
But same age.
Okay, fair enough. But when it comes to younger, 30 is the maximum number of years that you would date. 30 years.
Until you
Maybe-
meet someone who's 35 years younger.
Maybe okay lah. Okay, maybe 35 years younger. That's it.
35, so
I
that
know.
would be 20.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Sure. I mean, that's his life.
I could go all the way down to 18, but no, I think that would be socially unacceptable to a lot of people. Not that I really care what they think, but still, okay, I'll understand if they go like, oh my God.
What is he doing?
Yeah. Take Mick Jagger, for example. So Mick Jagger and his girlfriend or wife, I can't remember, they have like a 45-year age gap.
Yeah.
He is 45 years older. But everybody seems to be okay with Mick Jagger.
Because he's a rock star.
Yeah,
you know what
power
So
I
am
mean?
I.
Yeah, he's a rock star.
sorry.
Okay, you're powerful and sexy too.
What would your age gap be, Dr. Martha?
Yes.
Older or
yeah,
younger?
So when I was 26, I dated someone who was older than my father. He was 60.
Okay.
And I think that's the biggest gap that I've ever had. But that was something very special from the moment we met. The chemistry was just off the charts. So I think a lot of people just assumed that I was after him for his money because of...
Was he rich?
No, he was not. That's the problem. And he was like short and wrinkly and smokes.
Unattractive.
Yeah, that was I think the first and the last time I will ever date someone who smokes. It was horrible, but the attraction was just insane, and it was really quite toxic because of his own insecurities.
Oh.
So and then he cheated on me. So yeah,
You see how
Hello?
weird, despite all that,
Chemistry and everything,
and,
right?
and she was still,
yeah.
hot for him.
Yeah.
yeah, because he was funny and smart and witty and it's
not all about the looks.
Quite kind.
Can be quick. So that age gap was 34 years.
Yeah.
34 years. So that's your maximum.
Yes. I
Okay.
win you.
You win Mick Jagger.
No, his is 44.
What was that again?
34.
34.
You said your gap was 30.
26 and 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was back then. So the more older guys I dated, the more I realized really it doesn't mean just because they're older, they're more mature or more intelligent. What was I doing? And at the rate I was going as I got older, I was like, this is not a good idea to continue dating guys who are older because if we really commit, then they're gonna like pop very soon. And
They're
like
going to
die.
die very soon.
And I didn't want to be a widow, so it really made me rethink my upper age limit.
And did it? And then after that, once you thought that, what is the age limit now?
I don't have one now because
Okay.
I think a lot of it is chemistry because I'm past my childbearing years. So if it doesn't matter the fertility, then it doesn't matter whether they are
Right.
older or
Yeah,
younger.
yeah.
Although it's still quite shocking for me when I find myself attracted to guys who are so much younger because I meet them, I'm attracted to them, but I didn't know how old they are. You can't tell.
Yeah.
And then I find out like the recent one is like 17 years younger than me.
Oh,
and
I
I'm
thought you
like,
said 17 years old.
no, 17 years younger.
But there's nothing wrong, what?
No,
I mean, you as a
because it hasn't
sexologist should
happened to
know
me
that.
before. It
Right.
didn't happen to me before because I was always attracted to older. Then same age was quite a shift. Then I was with this long distance relationship. He was 9 years younger, and it was actually very uncomfortable for the both of us.
Yeah.
Because we just didn't like our head couldn't wrap around that age.
Yeah.
And you're in a different space in life as well, right?
It's true. Our references, our
Yeah.
music, things that we grew up with, completely different.
Yeah.
I think most people fall in lust, not love. I know that now.
With the age gap
Yeah.
or in
It's just
general?
That, it's just that it's weird telling someone, I lust you.
You're talking about in
It's-
general.
In general.
In general.
In general.
Would you say lust is a bit of like FOMO?
Why?
What if I didn't get to try?
No, when I say okay, we're going back on it.
Kiss Kiss 92 traffic.
All right, taking a look at the news from the roads. On the CTE towards the AYE after Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5, a vehicle has broken down. And on the AYE towards the MCE at Alexandra Road's exit, another vehicle has broken down. Finally, on the CTE, a vehicle is having trouble before Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5. This is in the direction of the AYE. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Good morning and welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. I know she has now become such a favorite with our Kiss 92 fans. I know all my friends are tuned in right now because every time they hear Dr. Martha Lee is on the show, on The Big Show and The Big Show TV, they are all tuning in. Mm-hmm. Okay, so Dr. Martha Lee, today we're talking about the age gap between couples and all that. Why is this so important and why is this so talked about?
I think we are conditioned to think of things like gold diggers and
Sugar
like
daddy.
sexualization of the genders and sugar daddy. So we associate this with power, lust, and money, of course.
Okay.
So the assumption that there's a big age gap, you must be in it for the money. So I think that's why we just judge from outside and we project things onto the relationship when it may not be true.
So what's the objective of today's discussion? Are we trying to make it more socially acceptable for people to go out with younger or older people?
I think it does make a difference when you are younger and dating someone because you are like still figuring out yourself versus like you are much older and you really are very conscious that this is what is good for you.
We have a question from one of our listeners, and she's asking, how do you view a connection where there's a 14-year age difference, the woman being older, and despite distance and the impossibility of being together, their feelings stay deep and real over the years? What does that say about the nature of such a relationship?
Okay, I know of people who have serial long-distance relationships, and when you keep having a pattern of always having long-distance relationships, you really need to ask yourself, is the distance really what is keeping the relationship going? Because sometimes you just need a lot of space, and maybe you have some form of healing and trauma that needs to be dealt with, and actually that's the only kind of relationship that actually feels safe for you. So yes, there are also people who say it's deep, it's real. I feel like a lot of it is also projection because of the time space. You have certain projections, like you fill in the gaps of what you cannot get with some other thing that may be just entirely your imagination.
I feel that this question is going along the lines of unrequited love. You know, the impossibility because of individual situations where these two lovers cannot be together.
Yes.
You know,
I know of clients who are actually also in long distance marriages. It is actually getting very common because they may be doing this for their careers or maybe doing it for their kids. Maybe they're okay with it for a few years. And so this is a real thing that is actually on the uptrend.
is it healthy though? I mean, being apart from a partner for so long.
There, are you judging already?
No, I'm not judging. I'm asking if it's healthy.
I'm just like,
I didn't say they shouldn't be married. That would be judging.
Right,
No,
right.
but I'm
I
asking
think
if it's healthy.
But I think most of the time they will go their separate ways. I don't think it's
That's judging.
Yeah, correct. Exactly. Exactly.
But is it healthy?
Because
to
I have
be
friends who
apart?
were in that situation.
Yeah.
Boom, all of them have divorced already.
Yeah, I think what happens is that you need to be very clear about how you're going to stay connected. You have the plan of when you're going to meet each other. So there's the anticipation of meeting as well, instead of letting it drag on and on and on. And I think that causes a lot of stress. The longing actually becomes painful after a while.
Yeah.
Most of the time, people agree to that because they don't have a choice. You're
Yeah.
already married, and someone gets
they-
stationed overseas
Yes.
and all that. What are you going to do?
Yes. Also,
It's like-
they think they don't have a choice. I feel that we always have a choice.
We always
Correct.
have
So
a
it's
choice.
also about taking responsibility for your decisions.
But I
Yeah.
like what she said. The planning is important, and you got to do it at the get-go so that you can't break that routine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think most couples don't communicate properly.
properly.
That's
I
the
know of
reason.
couples, because of the long distance, they actually make even more effort to connect and communicate, and they miss that. They miss the effort that they put in when they were long distance.
Nice.
All right, let's continue to talk to Dr. Martha Lee on The Big Show TV. It's 8:20.
Kiss 92 Time Check.
So,
It's hard, lah. I say, don't get married, lah.
so what is wrong with people having a very significant age gap relationship? You know what I mean? Are we getting the it is not right from the movies and from television, because it's always portrayed as something that should be hidden?
Yeah, I feel that we really need to not discount the maturity level of the person and not take away their power, their autonomy to their own life. So you do need to look at attachment theory, the attachment awareness, where people with insecure attachment, maybe they have like daddy issues or certain aspects of their childhood that needs healing, and therefore they fetishize the being taken care of by somebody older.
Being looked after.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of, I see this on social media all the time, right? I mean, younger women tend to date older men.
Yeah.
Because they feel more secure.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
did that.
Yeah. But okay, I get the younger woman dating an older man. Maybe she has daddy issues. Maybe she's just fallen in love, but she wants to be looked after. But what is the reasoning for an older man seeing a younger woman? Because she's just so much better looking than an older woman and tighter and
So I have a
smoother
joke.
and
Yes, I have a joke. I would say the body has gotten older biologically, physically, but the brain psychologically hasn't had an upgrade since 1970s. So yeah, they are just not aware that their CPU needed a reboot.
this is
No,
the
no,
men
so-
you're talking about for sure.
But generally, like men who are active and fit and
Yeah.
and who have boundless energy, right? Usually, a woman of the same age will not be able to keep up with him. So
Not
I think that's
necessarily.
that's one of the reasons why I feel like I would rather a younger woman, because then she'll be able to keep up with me, and if anything, it'll be fun for me to keep up with her.
I don't think it's a matter of not being able to keep up. I think older women, I mean, if I could say this, are at a different stage in their life. So it's not about the energy levels of or wanting to perhaps keep up with, however you mean keep up. I just think that we have so much more going on. Whether it's with
priorities.
or without children,
Right.
You're at a certain level in your
Like
career.
doing the auntie thing, lah.
No, but
Not
you're at a
auntie
certain.
thing.
It's not necessarily auntie. It's just like more matured. You're in at a certain level in your career as well, because women older would be at higher management.
Okay.
Ladies younger would be not necessarily at that stage yet. That's
Yeah.
why the whole stereotype.
So then they're
the
at that
boss
higher
and the
management,
secretary-
and then let's say they've got a husband who has settled down
Yeah.
and has become a little bit, lazy, and then they might have a problem with that as well. I've seen that. for
yeah, of
myself.
course, yeah, for sure.
So can everyone be happy, Dr. Martha Lee? That's the thing,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think there's
You can have
ever-
everything but
Yeah.
still be bored and
Yes.
look for something elsewhere.
Yeah, that's right. So that's why we need to take responsibility for our boredom and look to generate our own passion, our own spice. Because a lot of people, they want the stability of a relationship,
Right.
but they are not taking ownership of their own boredom.
It's funny when you raise children, right? You want to. Nowadays, people give them devices and iPads and phones and all that. But back in the day, you want them to become bored so that they use their own creativity to entertain themselves. I feel like that's the same for a relationship as well. Not become bored, but use that boredom and try and think up ways to rekindle whatever dead relationship may be.
I think a lot of people just get lazy, comfort zone.
Yeah.
Take things for granted, and they don't really apply themselves in all aspects of their lives, especially their relationships. Like that's the first to go when they are busy, stressed, kids,
Yeah.
Yeah.
work, trying to climb the corporate ladder.
Because you think that that person's going to be there forever.
Yeah.
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 No, and also, you know what? When a couple starts out, both of them are pretty much on the same level in terms of thinking, in terms
Goals.
of goals,
Yeah.
and maybe planning a family and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then 5 years goes by, the kids come, or even some couples with no kids. Okay, 5 years goes by, and then everyone's a little bit too comfortable, and then another 5 years goes by, and suddenly one side decides, oh, I've changed. What do you have to say to couples who have experienced that? At some point, while both parties feel like, okay, we're comfortable with each other already, and then one side suddenly snaps and says, I've changed.
I don't think a person suddenly snaps. I think it has to do with that they have been growing and changing in different directions, and they were not connected to each other during this time.
Yeah.
Right.
And there is also the unwillingness to change or shift or grow with their partner. So it's really important to be involved in their lives, even if you're not interested in their hobbies, because
Right.
they are interested. You should still have some
Show some respect. I feel.
inclination of trying to understand. Because that's
Yeah.
part of being connected, like finding topics to talk about as a couple.
Yeah,
Because
but
I-
respect is both parties.
Correct, because I feel like I've heard this from friends, right? Maybe the guy is interested in football and the girl is interested in cooking or shopping, and when they have this conversation with each other, they're like, "Oh no, don't talk about football again," or the other one's like,
Yeah,
"Don't talk
yeah.
about what you bought," right? But I mean, if you show a little bit of interest, find out the rules of the football, the guy finds out about what dish she's learning to cook, then at least there is some form of communication
Yes.
rather than just brushing it off.
So
Yes.
once again, it's back to communication.
Yes,
And
so
respect,
it's about
yeah.
being interested in their lives and wanting to be part of their lives, and that goes a long way.
Yeah.
Right. Let's talk about love languages then. Next.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Tuas after Toguan Road, a vehicle has broken down in lane 4. Also on the PIE, but this time towards the airport, a vehicle's having trouble after Bukit Batok East Avenue 3. And finally, on the Central Expressway towards the AYE after Ang Mo Kio Avenue 5, another vehicle has been reported broken down. Wherever you are this morning, stay safe.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We have from Eros Coaching, Dr. Martha Tara Lee, our sexologist. Welcome to the show once again, Martha.
Thank you.
So we have Vicky Moria that's come on our Facebook, and she says, "Looking good today, Dr. Martha. Interesting and relatable topic. My husband and I have a 9-year age gap. He's older. He's not rich nor influential. I guess back when I was about 2021, during the course of 2 years that I got to know him, we clicked, had chemistry, and most of all, I felt very safe with him. Been married to him for over 10 years now. And some people look at us and think we're about the same age. Compliment for him, I guess."
That's right.
Absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
about taking care of yourself regardless of your age. And you really can't tell from looking at someone how old they are. And that's definitely happening to me as well. Looking at younger guys and not realizing that they're so much younger
But
You're single, right?
at the moment.
Yeah. So you can go out with whoever you want.
So how many years
I-
younger would be too much for you?
Yeah, I just feel very uncomfortable because they're so much younger. I don't want to screw up their
I'm
lives.
so
Oh my
surprised.
gosh, you're
I'm
not
so
gonna-
surprised. You seem so open.
They may want to get married and have a family, right? And I'm past
Oh.
my childbearing years, so I also have to reconsider the fact that if I tell them that I'm interested in them, they're not interested, and then we can't even be friends. Like, it's very awkward,
You don't want to restrain them from being able to have a family as well.
Wait,
And
but it's
also
not like
there's
you're looking to go into a serious relationship, huh?
Oh, I'm not interested in casual anymore.
Oh.
Yeah,
Been
because
there, done that.
okay. So, but what would be the limit on the age? Now that you have all that in mind, what would be? How young would be too young?
I think you can't help who you're attracted to,
Yeah.
but whether you choose to act on it is entirely your choice. So I feel that as much as there is attraction, it needs to be mutual. There's
Yeah.
no point disclosing it when it's just going to make everything really awkward.
Uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
just choose not to say it.
Oh,
Look at Ashton Kutcher and Demi Moore at that time.
yeah. Yep, she
Right.
was much older. Yeah,
I think he was the only one who was dating an older actress at that time. Because, I mean, if you compare him to, let's say, Leonardo DiCaprio, Leo has always been very, very consistent. He's always loved his women young.
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
Ashton Kutcher, I mean, obviously was very attracted to Demi Moore, who was
Yeah.
a very attractive older woman as well.
Absolutely.
But in the end,
He ended up with someone almost
Mila
his own
Kunis.
age. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
How-
how do you explain a situation like that, Martha?
Okay, there was a lot of things going on in Debbie Moore's life.
Yeah.
How she grew up with a very toxic childhood and stuff. And so she had a lot of psychological challenges besides the age gap. And Ashton actually grew up idolizing this
Demi Moore,
celebrity.
yeah.
So it's kind of like you get the woman that you want growing up, but then there's the reality of this big age gap and the other issues going on in her life.
I think it also proves, I mean, the fact that he was with Demi Moore and then with Mila Kunis is that it's all about the attraction and not so much about the age.
I think with her, they have a very long history of friendship because
Mila
they
Kunis, yeah.
acted in the
Yeah.
same show and they grew up together. So they have a very strong foundation of friendship.
Yeah.
Okay, let's continue to talk to Dr. Martha Lee on The Big Show TV. Stand by. I think we've got some headline news coming up.
Go big
Do you think that strong foundation of friendship is important for any relationship?
Yes. Growing up, I used to, I think, spend too much time really idolizing the passion. But really, for a relationship to be sustainable, you need to have similar values, especially. You can have different interests, different personality, different body clocks, different temperament, but the values are very important. And sometimes this is also a generational thing. So when you have too big age gap, like maybe 10 years or more, all your references are different, and also the things that you see is important is also different.
Yeah.
And that may create a potentially more conflict in a relationship.
Yeah, because I mean, back in our day was like, oh, you know, the mannerisms of etiquette and family and all that hold very strong, right?
Yes.
But now a lot of that is out the window.
Yeah, I can't get that culture of let's slide into their DMs. And then I keep getting people saying hi. And I was like, okay, hi doesn't say anything about who you are, what you want. I don't know how to reply to your hi. But apparently that's a very common thing.
I'll tell you how to reply. Hi. That's all.
Say
block these
something, right?
people.
At least say something.
No. I look at their profile and then I block them.
Good for you. Good for you.
What if it's someone high profile?
She looks at their profile. That's
who's,
what she said.
Yeah, but what if it's
usually
someone high profile?
they
Would you
wouldn't
then?
ever say just hi.
Yeah,
I
they
think
have
the
more
younger generation
intelligence.
just hi.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hey, but I'm down with the younger generation, man. Because, I mean, you have to accept them for who they are at this point, right? You know what I mean? Like, you go out with a younger girl and she's on her phone, all the time. And so, what do? I'm on my phone too.
But how does that make for a good communicative
Yeah, this tit
relationship?
for tat.
But it's a
Yeah, it's tit for
it's a
tat.
lusty relationship.
Okay, you're just there for the... Yeah, okay.
You know what I
If
mean?
it doesn't
A little
really
bit of
bother
this, a little
you
bit of
because it's
that.
just for fun.
It
Yeah.
has never bothered me, quite frankly. I'm not one of those who are like, even with my exes and all that before, I never used to make a big deal out of it.
But you said that communication is so important.
Yeah.
How do you communicate with your head stuck in your phone the whole time?
Well,
you know what I mean?
you've worked with me a long time, right?
Yeah.
Like when I communicate,
You
I make sure
communicate.
it matters.
Yeah.
So there are moments where you need to communicate and you need to be respectful of each other, but it needs to be clear communication.
Right.
I'm not someone who wants to communicate, talk and talk and talk and talk. I would like to just have a conversation once, if
Over and
possible,
done with.
and put my point across.
Yeah, quality
and for,
time.
for both of us to
Yeah.
understand where
Yeah.
we're coming from. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's workable. I mean, there's some I think people from the younger generation who perhaps maybe have been taught by their parents to be respectful, to not be on their
Yeah.
phones too much. But in the event someone younger does do that, I think it would be detrimental to just go like, "Can you put your phone away?"
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It would ruin the relationship.
Because they were not brought up like that, and you
Yeah.
were brought up
Yeah.
different.
And I
It's
would
a
come
different
across
time.
as
an old person.
But
A
how about the
father.
Yeah.
romance?
Let's say.
You bring someone to a fancy restaurant, you
Yeah.
want them to enjoy being in the moment, being present,
Yeah.
and be romanced too. No,
well.
But his is just lust, so
we
they
can-
don't
we can-
need romance.
Exactly, you can play footsie.
you don't want to be
You know what I
invested
mean?
in that. So
Yeah, if it's not a long-term thing, if it's just like for a fun thing, I guess
Yeah.
you don't need that romance. According to him, I think. I'm not putting
so
words in
it's
his
just
mouth.
like convenience.
Not convenience. Dr. Martha Lee, you're the sex coach. You're the sexologist.
Is it convenient?
It is.
She's putting you in your place right now. She's trying to get the
Sure.
word out of you.
Sure. Okay.
Is it-
What do you just say again?
Is it
I don't know.
convenience?
Yeah.
Is it a relationship of convenience?
A relationship of convenience.
Yeah, because you're there, you get what you want, she gets what she wants, and that's it.
Yeah, I guess. Right.
But you need to be clear on
But
what
there's
you want,
no
right?
love. So I'm very clear about that because earlier, right? Not just me. I think a lot of people get love and lust confused. You know, I'm not saying that it has to be lust all the time, but it's always lust first and then love later.
And also to make it more confusing, in between lust and love, there's also loving, being loving to someone. And that's the confusion, because when someone is loving, it doesn't mean that they're in love with you.
And loving could mean being concerned about them. How
Yes.
are you? Have you eaten? Here's a
And
gift.
putting away their phones.
Yeah, okay.
And sometimes you don't know whether the person really means it. You know, he or she
Yeah.
might say, I love you. But
No, I get what you're
once
saying.
maybe, like, you know, you're making love and all of a sudden, I love you. But that
No,
may
cannot.
not be
Or
love.
I love what you're doing.
Yeah,
Well-
try that different, because the thing is with women, and I think I can speak for a lot of women, when men say they love you, or when men shower you with a lot of concern and gifts and nice
Attention.
words
It's
and
after the
attention.
act.
Not necessarily, it might be before as well to
Oh.
get you into the act. But what I'm saying is women tend to fall very easily. So I think, if I can say, men need to be very clear about what they're there to do. I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to be doing this, but there is going to be absolutely no love involved.
Right.
You know what I
there are
mean?
peop-
It
yeah,
needs
and
to
then
be
there
clear.
are people who say that they love you just to get
Get
you
you
into
to bed,
bed,
yes.
and
Yeah.
then change their
And
minds
don't forget,
afterwards.
well,
No, there is that saying, men will say I love you to sleep with you, women will sleep with you to get men to love them. So they're the complete opposites. So it's just something that we got to be very careful. Be careful with.
Exactly.
Yeah, so
be
I'm
careful,
so curious what you're doing.
Be careful. Be careful of the guy.
What Glenn is doing?
Be careful of the guy who's a giver as well.
Yes, of
Because
course.
there are a lot of guys who just take.
Yes.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Yeah.
It is the givers that the women fall in love with.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Sometimes the takers as well. Sometimes the takers. And that's when they get their heart broken.
Okay, Dr. Martha Lee, it's over to you. You're like
She's contemplating what to say next.
Yeah,
just thinking about her past relationships.
Oh no, I'm just I don't know what I'm thinking, but I do want to say that I came across this statistic that 70% of men are okay with dating older women by 5 years.
Okay.
So Singapore is much more progressive than people are thinking or assuming.
5 years, okay. How do we stay away from? No. My question was because somebody wrote this as well, like cradle snatcher and things like that.
See?
Do men?
These are the judgy people.
do
Cradle
men?
snatcher.
Are men going through? And I think a lot of people would think this. Oh, he must be going through a midlife crisis. You know, he just bought a sports car.
Yeah.
He just upgraded his look, and he's got a younger woman on his arm.
Yes.
Is that a midlife crisis, or is that a conscious effort by a guy to want to look younger and feel younger?
I think it's a real thing, because I have clients who have FOMO. They are married and then the sex is bad, the relationship is not good, and then they say, how many more years of sex can I have? And I'm going to miss out if I just delay this anymore. So the fear of missing out.
It's
So yes, you when you're single, you want to be attached. When you're attached, you want to be single.
Yeah. You know, I would say for someone who's married and who is going through that midlife crisis, then, this is where it's socially unacceptable.
Yeah,
Someone
no,
looks and
absolutely.
goes like, no, that's not right. You're married, you're this, you're that, and yet you're doing this. It's
Yeah.
socially unacceptable.
Yeah.
But for people who are not attached and are single, there's nothing wrong with that. Let's continue to talk about this on the show.
Just like you were never gone. And it will be just like you were never gone. And it will be just like you were never gone. And you never come back if you ever come back now.
Kiss 92 traffic.
On the PIE towards Changi after Bukit Batok East Avenue 3, look out for a broken down vehicle. Other than that, it's heavy traffic in the CTE tunnel towards the SLE as well as the AYE, and also on the SLE towards the BKE. Wherever you are, if you spot anything else, you can always WhatsApp us 88550920.
Welcome back to The Big Show and The Big Show TV. We are with Dr. Martha Lee from Eros Coaching. And if you want to get in touch with Martha, how can they get in touch with you?
Yes, you can visit my website, eroscoaching.com, EROS coaching.com.
Okay. And if you have, so this is for if they have any relationship issues, questions about how to improve their sex lives, anything like that, anything
Yes,
intimate.
anything under the sun when it comes to love, sex, and anything in between.
Oh, that's quite a lot in between then.
I think one thing that's come out of today's discussion is social acceptance. I think maybe next week when you come on the show, we should do that. What is socially acceptable when it comes to relationships? Like even the age gap that we're talking about, I think to make it very clear, we should actually put up some photos on the Big Show TV of couples with a age gap.
With a significant age
You
gap.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And we can get our Kiss fans to kind of like tell us acceptable or unacceptable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I
Yeah.
think people are very biased. They are biased and very judgy. For example, if I were to put a photo of, let's say, Leonardo DiCaprio and his younger girlfriend there, maybe a lot of people will say, no. But why? He's not married, he's single. And then you were to put a photo of, let's say,
George
Clooney and Amal,
Amal.
who they've got like close to 20-year gap
Yeah.
or something like that. Everybody will go like, oh.
Yeah, they have 2 kids.
Yeah.
They're
She's such a
settled.
catch
These-
because she's so smart.
Yeah, but you see,
Yeah.
that's not the point, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, just by looking at a couple, what gives someone the right to go like, no, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Mick Jagger and his girlfriend, 44-year age gap, unacceptable.
Yeah.
Why? It's
Yeah.
his life.
Yeah, let them be happy.
Exactly. Yeah. So it'd be interesting. I mean, if you want to WhatsApp in 88550920, you can tell us what is, according to you, acceptable or unacceptable when it comes to ages.
Yeah.
Because when at the start of this, I was like, my husband is 3 years younger than me, and Glenn's like, oh, all your friends must have been talking about you behind your back. And to me, I was like, no, they weren't, because to me, 3 years is fine. To me, 5 years is fine. 10 years is fine. But is 30 years okay? So I think we want to hear from people.
I can't believe you married a younger man.
Shut up. What?
Angelique Teo Souping.
Oh my goodness. So what is socially acceptable? We'll continue the conversation next week.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Martha Lee.
Thank
Anything
you.
In the pipeline for you would like
Yes,
to
I
talk
have
about?
Uncovering Eros coming up. It's a 2-day event that I'm doing on the 8th and 9th of November. Check out my website under events. I also have the 15th Sex Positive Comedy. And last week I did a shout out, and so many people registered for it. So
Oh,
thank you
nice.
very much.
Excellent.
Once again, all in your website,
Yes.
eroscoaching.com.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you.
Martha, have you watched Cirque Alice?
No.
Okay, anyway, me, Tim, Cheyenne, and Shalini are going for Cirque Alice this evening at MBS.
Have fun.
And the other day, we went down to talk to a couple of the performers.
The main
and
ones.
now you can stay here and watch it with us because it's going to be on the Big Show TV right now. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Stand by also. Coming up after that, headline news and sports. Hey, it's Glenn, Angel, and Tim, The Big Show, and we are so honored to have with us 2 of the stars from Cirque Alice. We have Layla, who plays Alice, and we have Dizzy, who plays the Mad Hatter.
Hello, it's a pleasure to be here. Welcome to our home, away from home.
Dizzy, tell us a little bit about Cirque Alice. How did it all start?
Cirque Alice, the producers came up with the idea of let's go back to the book. The characters are just so, we've grown up with all of these characters from Alice in Wonderland, and how can we make this such a thrilling show? And it was circus, circus elements, and then bringing in the true character of Alice. You really do embed the real character of Alice in Wonderland with the voice that she has, and just all of the different characters they've kept, so you're going to recognize the characters from Alice in Wonderland. And then it's just extreme, the best of the best circus acts. When they were auditioning these circus performers, all of them were interested. The best of the best were like, we want to be part of this, because the producer has produced some of the biggest shows around the world. If you're aware, The Illusionist, live from Broadway, it's traveled everywhere. Circus 1903, which is broken box offices, box office records. Las Vegas, they've opened 2 giant brand new Cirque du Soleil shows, and now they've brought this to Marina Bay Sands, and the audience are going crazy.
They love it.
Yeah.
We've been hearing nothing but good things about Cirque Alice. And you're like the most beautiful Alice I've ever seen.
Yes, absolutely. So, Layla, I mean, how did you feel when you got picked as Alice?
It was so surreal. It was pretty crazy, like how it all happened, to be honest, because I was about to go and head off to do a 3-year uni degree for a Bachelor of Musical Theatre. And then someone that I worked with in the past, a lovely lady named Chloe Zool, who's also an Australian musical theatre performer, worked with me last year in a show, and she knew Ash, our creative director, and she was like, do you know of anyone that would be good for the role of Alice, like a young kind of blonde soprano? And she was like, oh yeah, last year I have actually worked with a young girl and recommended me. So then from then on, she reached out to me and was like, want to audition for the show? And I was like, absolutely, like always say yes to every opportunity. Yeah, I sent in a few tapes and just like, they were like, we want you. And I was like, it's just such a blessing to like straight away someone to spot something special in you and take a chance. And yeah.
You put off university for this.
Yeah.
I mean, how did your parents feel about that?
They're always so supportive of me and pursuing my dreams to be a performer. So they were just stoked and excited that I had an opportunity like this. So we were all like, yes.
Clearly it paid off.
Yeah,
it was the right decision.
Absolutely.
Well, this is the best education you can get, live in front of an audience.
Can I just say, I just love the outfits, and I'm sure it brings so much to the performance.
It really
and
does.
to the audience as well, watching you. Now, Alice in Wonderland, there have been many different interpretations. Many of us grew up with the book, we've seen the cartoon, the animated shows, there have been movies as well. How challenging is it to actually pull off the act and to tell the story in front of a live audience?
Well, the beauty of the way the producer and the artistic directors have done this is they've kept the characters so you recognize the characters, and then you get to fill in the blanks. You're going to recognize Tweedledee, Tweedledum. You're going to
so
recognize the iconic characters are there, and then the story just flows, and it transcends language. You don't have to understand what's going on, because when Layla, Alice, sings, I don't understand what she's saying, but I want to cry. Honestly, it's so emotional, the way her voice, this little thing can portray this.
And what about the audience? I mean, do you get some members of the audience to come up on stage and participate as well?
Yes. And they give me a 30-second window because the show has so much action. They're like, we have to stay under 2 hours. And I have 30 seconds to find somebody, and I've just got to draw out the comedy and draw out... They have to trust me as a Mad Hatter. That's the important thing. And every night I make them feel happy on stage. That makes the audience want to be in their shoes, support them. And then there's something else layered on top of that, and the big reveal that they didn't know was happening. I'm a comedic genius.
Yes, you are.
Okay, so Layla, aka Alice, if you could pick one part of the show as your favorite part, which would it be?
Ooh, that is so hard. There are so many incredible moments. Like, everyone is just so talented that it's just too hard to decide. I actually might go with our moment. Because we have a little moment at the end of the show when I turn around and sing in Ave Maria, and it makes us both tear up. We're both sitting there like...
I'm glad you threw her that, because I don't want to answer that. It's too hard.
Too hard. Like, everyone is ridiculously talented, like out of this world. The stuff that they are doing is just like, you would not believe it. Like, I'm like,
every act could be the finale. That's how good these are.
Like, you understand that?
When you see it, it's like the way they casted this show is unbelievable.
Genius.
I'm going to ask this to each of you, okay? If you could play any other character other than, the Mad Hatter and Alice, who would you pick and why?
Team, right? Tweedledum. Oh, they opened the show with the first jam-packed, 4 minutes of action, and the audience want to give a standing ovation just from that.
Just from that alone.
Wow. Yeah.
Well, it's been amazing speaking to the both of you. Thank you so very much for taking time off to speak to us. The big show.
Honor. Yeah, the big show. It's a pleasure.
And we look forward to catching you guys in Cirque Alice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Make sure you wave.
Kiss 92. All the great songs in one place.
Make sure you wave.
bad.
Yeah.
You're gonna miss out. We are going tonight.
I know I'm missing out on Cirque Alice, but if you thought that sounded like a lot of fun, Cirque Alice is playing at Marina Bay Sands until Sunday, and I believe on the weekend there'll be matinee shows as well.
Yeah.
The kids can go. It's going to be a fantastic time. The team is going tonight. I'm going to be missing out, but one thing I did get to do that nobody else got to do was I got to take flight. Like Alice in Wonderland in Marina Bay Sands. That video is coming out on our socials this afternoon. So look out for that on Kiss 92 FM.
Awesome.
Yeah.
She did well.
Thank
that
you.
much I can say.
Thank
So
you.
fun.
She did well. She flew like Alice.
Yay! Just didn't have the dress, but yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. I want to join the circus now.
Anyway, speaking of Cirque Alice, and Angel just mentioned it ends this coming Sunday. Okay, get your tickets right now at marinabaysands.com. Okay,
Yep.
that's where you can get your tickets. And I know of so many people who have gone down more than once.
Yes.
Yeah, since
Yep.
opening night, so it's a very enjoyable show.
So you have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Only 4 days left to watch Cirque Alice at MBS.
marinabaysands.com. Get your tickets right now. Bye-bye.
Bye.